Hey guys! So this is going to be an exciting video. I have been tagged by El Boogie One. We decided to do a Panamanian tag together. She contacted me because we're both of Panamanian descent and we noticed that there are no Panamanian tags out there, and we wanted you guys to get a chance to take a look inside our families and a little bit of what it's like. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the questions, and of course they'll be listed below so that you can understand what's going on. Okay? So let's see, and excuse me because I'm going to be looking at my phone to look at the questions. The first question is, when was the last time you were in Panama? So the last time I was in Panama was when I was like 5 years old. I was very small then, and I was visiting. I still have extended family that lives there. My mom is Panamanian and my dad is black. But my mom came here when she was a little girl too, and they were only speaking Spanish when she came here, but now she speaks English. She doesn't speak fluent Spanish, but my grandparents do, her mom and her dad, and so does my extended family. They all speak fluent Spanish and English. So basically, I went there as a kid, my family, and I haven't been back since. We have had reunions and different things occur in Panama, and I haven't been able to make it, unfortunately. But I do hope to go back there one day so that I can enjoy it as an adult. Let's see. Oh, and also I want to add that my mom is from Cologne. So the second question is, name one dish you enjoy the most and why. Um, that's kind of tough. A lot of our cultural foods we grow up with as kids, so a lot of them become your favorites. But I would have to agree with El Boogie One and say arroz con pollo. It's definitely one of my favorites, and it's traditionally made, especially when they're get-togethers. So if you don't have arroz con pollo, I don't know what to tell you. You're not at a Panamanian function, you know? And what's not to like, you know? It's the yellow rice, the chicken. I love olives too, and you know, the peas and carrots and everything else that's in there. So to add to that, some of my other favorite foods, I would say, maybe not dishes, but foods to eat, would be chocho. The Americans call it chayote, and it's kind of like a pear-shaped type of squash. It's green on the outside, and once you peel off the skin, you can eat the whole thing, seed and everything. And my mom typically will peel that and cut it up and put it in her soups. She doesn't make chicken noodle soup the traditional way. She makes it the Panamanian way. I don't know, you know, how to say that, but um I love to eat chocho. So I will literally eat the soup, but make sure I have so much of that in my bowl, you know, it's ridiculous. It's very sweet. I don't know how to describe it. It's very, very sweet. Um, Maybe a little hard to find in supermarkets here in the United States, but you can find it. So maybe you guys should try that out if you can. You know, you peel off the skin and then you just chop it up, and you can boil it, grill it, bake it, mash it. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can eat it, but I love to have it in soup. Let's see, another thing. Plantain. Um, Everyone I think typically knows you eat plantain fried or you know, smashed and double fried. But I typically like mine's baked actually, because you eat it baked when it's more green, it's not so ripe yet. But to me, baking it brings out the sweetness in it. So it kind of gives it a little different flavor. And that's not to say when you fry, you know, the plantain, it's not sweet. It is sweet when you fry it, but it's a different type of sweetness that comes out when you bake it. So I would definitely have to say that that's one of my favorite ways to eat that. Okay, so Number 3, name one household item that best describes the culture. Well, as El Boogie once said, you're not Panamanian if you don't have the shape of your country in your home. And it's very true. It's really hard to come into a Panamanian home and not have the shape of your country somewhere, artifacts that have come from the country, or, just flags lying around, So I do have one. My mom has it in the form of a magnet, and you see the shape of the country there, and it says Panama. I think this is so cute. It's little, but it kind of does the trick. The second thing that we have in our house is a little Panamanian, I don't know what you would call this, but it's kind of like a little stand, and it sits on the table in my mom's foyer, and it has a Panamanian woman. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to take it off of there. And it says Panama on it, and the lady is wearing the traditional pollera. That these polleras are very beautiful in person, and they're typically white, but they can have color in them, and they're one of my favorite items. We have a little box that my mom keeps on the foyer table also. You open it up and you can store things inside of it, and this came from Panama. Look at the detail that's hand carved into this box. You have a tree. Can you guys pick up that detail? A tree over here, and the birds are on the branches, and these pretty flowers, and then you have flowers going all around, and then it's all on the front too. You can see that. And then you open up the latch, and you can store stuff inside. And right here, it has a little tag that lets you know that this was especially made and hand carved in Panama. The back of it also has some trees or some like grass on it. Very pretty. So these are the items that we have from our culture, aside from flags as well, kind of in our home that we keep. Let's see. Question: do you speak Spanish? If so, say a phrase or two. I do not currently speak fluent Spanish. I can understand it very well, and I can speak back. I just get very self-conscious about it because I didn't grow up speaking Spanish. My mom never really spoke Spanish to us in the home because when she came to America, her mom didn't speak Spanish to her anymore in the house like they did in Panama, because she wanted her to learn English to go to, the American schools. So they never really spoke Spanish at home and then English at school. It was just straight English. So my mom, once she learned English, she raised us with English. My extended family and my grandparents, like I said, do still speak fluent Spanish, and I can understand it. And then the fifth question is, let's see, what part of Panama are you from? My family, like I said in the beginning, is from Colon, and that is still where my extended family lives. What is your favorite fritura of choice? I don't know. That one's kind of, I'd have to say when my mom does fish, like fry, when she does fish, that's definitely my favorite. It's unlike fish that you eat anywhere else, it's just that Panamanian culture or style or whatever you want to call it. The next question is, do you rather prefer El 99, El Rey, or Machetazos? Any of those supermarkets, I really don't know them because I believe that they are in Panama. There might be a few of them that have surfaced throughout the United States, but I personally have never been in any of them, so I couldn't say, which one I'd prefer to shop at. Name 1 to 3 things about Panama that non-Panamanians would not know. I would have to say most Americans don't know how diverse the Panamanian culture is. And there is still a lot of people out there that think that the Panamanian culture is not considered Latin. It is. It's in Central America, so it is still considered Latin, but it's very diverse in the sense that there are a lot of Jamaicans and Colombians, and it's all mixed. It's like a melting pot. So descendants, your history, your ancestry can go and link back to Jamaicans or Colombians, or like in my family's case, my grandmother, she has a little bit of Jamaican in her and Colombian as well. So I think most people don't know that there's such a diverse mix, but yet it's still considered a Latin culture. The last question is, what is your favorite part about Panama? And I would just definitely have to say my favorite part is probably how beautiful of a country it is and how the culture has remained virtually untouched. It has passed on from generation to generation. I'm in America. I don't live in Panama, but yet I still know my country pretty well, which I think is really good for families to keep. You keep the generations learning more and more about where they came from. It's very important. So I would definitely say that the history of it, the culture, the beautiful people, and the diversity is the best part about it. So yeah, that ends the official Panamanian tag, you guys. And I just want to thank El Boogie One for teaming up with me to do this Panamanian tag. And I would love to hear all about you guys' countries and your ancestry and where you come from. So I tag all of you. So feel free to respond below to this video with the same questions. Just change it to be specific to your country, and I'd love to hear back from you guys. Okay, so until next time, bye.